Chris Christie gets dragged hard on a live podcast and called out for his true intentions for running for president. Joe Biden is called a crappy president by one of his biggest 2020 supporters, only he didn't use the word crappy. Vivek Ramaswamy says, keep your eyes on Nikki Haley because she's just the type of person the people really running the country would like to have in office. And Leticia James of New York tries to squeeze an additional $120 million out of the Trump family. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out, so thank you so much. Presidential candidate Chris Christie got dragged hard on an interview with talk show host Hugh Hewitt. Hugh asked Christie to explain why he continues to raise money and spend money for a position he's never going to win. Chris Christie got extremely irritated with Hugh and defended his decision to run for president. But Hugh continued to say, you have no chance of winning, so why not drop out? Are you only running so that you can harass Donald Trump, or do you really believe you can win? Then, to rub salt in the wound of Chris Christie just a bit more, Hewitt pointed out that by staying in the race, he was stealing votes from Nikki Haley in New Hampshire, where she actually had a shot at beating Donald Trump. This really irritated Chris Christie. Now, Hugh Hewitt then ended the broadcast by telling Chris Christie that by staying in the race, he would single-handedly ensure Donald Trump wins the primary and becomes the Republican nominee. Chris Christie then finished the conversation by saying, if he doesn't win, he isn't going to vote for Trump, even if it hurts his party. So he's basically going to throw his vote away and vote down ballot only. Now, let me know what you think of Chris Christie and his podcast situation. I really want to hear from you, so let me know your thoughts down below. New York's Attorney General Leticia James is making headlines. She is pushing for former President Donald Trump to face a fine of $370 million plus a lifetime ban from doing business in New York, plus interest on a decade's worth of money. Now, she was originally asking for $250. There is no court case. She and Judge Engoron have decided that he was guilty before this process even started. And now that the case hasn't been thrown out, she's like, oh, wait a minute. Why don't we ruin his life and extract another $120 million out of the Trump family? Now, it's all about Trump's financial statements, given the bank loans were never defaulted on. No payments were missed. So what she's really trying to do is damage the former president financially. But here's the twist. Trump's team argues that these statements had clear disclaimers. They told the banks, hey, double check these figures yourself. Plus, the banks who made good money from Donald Trump's businesses didn't seem to question those values in the least. Now, Trump's take on this, he went to Truth Social and said, no victim, no crime. He believes there should be enough to dismiss this case. But this isn't just any case. It sparked controversy, with even CNN pointing out that Attorney General Leticia James used her promise to take legal actions against Donald Trump as a campaign tool to get herself elected. Defense lawyer David Schoen even called her out for this on a CNN interview. Now, despite these challenges, Trump stands firm, claiming he's innocent of all of the legal troubles. He told Breitbart News, I could have pardoned myself, but I didn't do anything wrong. He's also got an opinion on President Biden, predicting Biden might pardon his own son. Hunter, if he's convicted of any crimes, will be under a microscope, much less than the Trump family was. But he said these are the perks of being the president's son. So what do you think about this? Is Leticia James gone crazy? There's literally no evidence. These people did their own third-party evaluations. They made money. There was no default. There was no missed payments, no missed interest. And now they're coming after him for $370 million. And he's banned from doing business in New York. Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, speaking of another interview, radio show host Charlamagne the God, humble guy, right, was interviewed by Politico. For context, this is the man to whom Biden said, "If you don't know to vote Democrat, then you ain't black." Charlamagne had little reaction to this, but later Republican presidential candidate Larry Elder, who's been on my show, told Charlamagne to his face, "I can't believe you would let someone say something so racist about black people on your show." He literally didn't respond. He was speechless. He didn't know what to say to Larry Elder. Now, in this interview, Charlamagne was incredibly harsh on Joe Biden. He said, instead of thinking of better ways to play up policy achievement, he argues, Democrats rely too much on depicting President Donald Trump as a crook. It's almost like Democrats are doing this purity test. America is not pure. The people of America are not pure. We're flawed, he said. I'm not looking for my politician to be pure. I'm looking for my politician to be effective. He also complimented Donald Trump for being good at getting attention and free publicity, but said even though Trump's a great marketer, he's not a good man. Charlamagne then pointed out Biden has done next to nothing for black people, yet expects their support and vote in 2024. He also pointed out how grossed out he is by the fact that Biden has money for war, but does not have money to feed poor people. Lastly, he said Biden is a shitty president, but Donald Trump, he would ruin democracy. So he isn't happy about his voting options. Now, let me know, can you relate to anything that this man voiced? I know I could, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And for those thinking that Biden is Trump's main rival in 2024, think again. Presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy told Tucker Carlson that Nikki Haley is the one to watch. He called her the perfect Trojan horse for those in power, saying they're not bound by party lines, but only by their goals. So he's essentially saying the people that secretly and definitively run the country, not the president, they want Nikki Haley because they can use her as a puppet to get what they really want out of the United States. Now, turning to international news, the United States has just launched a significant attack in the Middle East. In response to the attack on American troops in Iran and also in the country of Syria, the United States used a drone strike to take out a senior militia leader believed to be orchestrating assaults against the U.S. military. Now, Iraq's government condemned this, calling it a violation of their sovereignty and an act of terrorism. So I guess it really does depend on which side of the fence you're on, right? If the United States attacks you, the United States is the terrorist group. If the United States gets attacked, whoever attacks them is the terrorist group. So they're both basically just blaming each other as the countries attack each other, but try to avoid going to all-out war. Now, before you go, I want to remind you that you are amazing. Just in case nobody tells you that, I'm telling you, you are amazing. Hey, I'd appreciate it if you'd give this video a like and share it on Facebook and Twitter. That would really help me out. Now, before you go, check out this video from earlier today where Tucker Carlson says some super controversial things that make the elite of Washington, D.C. furious, and the rest of us smile from ear to ear. Hey, thanks so much, and I will see you on the next video.